to tea time. I know it's been forever and ever and ever. First things, no, I did not finish the reading list. Just didn't have the right mental energy to accomplish that kind of a task. On the upside, the last little while I have been reading more. Trying not to watch TV before bed so much. I spend so much of my day with movies on, and especially this last week. Oh my god, I with being sick, not COVID, it was cold. I checked symptoms, and I haven't lost my sense of smell or taste. In fact, some days oranges taste downright amazing. So I didn't have that. I had nasal congestion. What it felt more like was when I laid down, I'd cough. When I sat up, I quit coughing. And so that felt a little bit more towards congestion in my lungs, and as far as I know, that from when checking, that was not a symptom of COVID per se. I am getting better. So yes, just a cold. But I do have to watch. Grief mixed with autoimmune disease, with asthma and allergies, and that's why I caught a cold. When I clean, it raises lots of dust, and even when I wear a mask, sometimes I get too much dust, and my allergies flare up, and I think that's what happened. Is I had a massive flare up, and this just the stress with grief. Grief will make your immune system compromised. So anyways, so I'm happy to say that I'm feeling better. I'm getting tired. It is late, but I've only been up out of bed for like 12 hours. So, but I did sleep lots yesterday, so that was a good thing. Migraine kicked in, and so I had to take meds for that, so that helped. So, thanks. So, nothing special in the glass, just water. Nothing in my cup. No tea. I have to dump what's in the pot. I made that the other day, and I made it too strong and it's gnarly. So, but anyways, what's happened? If you've been following along on regular C is for Chrome, and if you have maybe seen in a Crochet Corner video, I had planned a bucket list for this year, and instead of New Year's resolutions. And one of the things that I planned on doing is, it was 21 things for 2021, and some of it was, it's based to help build content for my channel in all my little playlists, more or less. So anyways, for tea time, as I said when I first started this channel, and I notice I'm running down on time with my phone, so there will be a pause in here. So I'll wrap this. Is that for tea time specifically, two of my things are linked together. Use one creative writing prompt, and then try and write 50,000 words a month. Well, as a writer, when I'm doing it, I should potentially be able to get upwards of 30, I'm thinking, anyways. So I thought, shoot for the stars, shoot for the sky. So anyway, one of the things I had said originally with this channel was that I wanted to read my own stuff. So I have something to read, and Books I've been reading lately is a Cat Who book by Lillian Jackson Braun, and I can't remember the name. Inkheart. I have the movie. I love the movie. Of course, it's about books and writing and characters, story characters. Anyways, blank. So I have been reading that one for a little bit just to clear the mind and relax. So I'm gonna pause here, empty my phone out, and then come back and read to you what I wrote. And we're back here on Tea Time. So, Tea Time's part of the bucket list that I was talking about took up two things. One was use one creative writing prompt a month, and I picked one. I went on Pinterest and found one. There's quite a few interesting writing prompts. For journal, there's tarot prompts, there's the writing prompts, etc. And the 50,000 words in a month. As I said, I managed to get almost 900 words. The only thing I didn't do in the 900 words was connect the writing prompt yet to the rest of the words that I wrote. But I got it started. Now that I'm feeling better, I'm hoping to sort of pick it up. Either that or I will start something new, and it will be included in the 50,000 words. Maybe there'll be something more exciting that I'll be writing. That's all a writing prompt really is just a little something to jog the juices, to get things stirring, get you thinking about writing and focusing on writing rather than sitting there going, what do I write? I don't know what to write. I got blocked. I'm distracted. You know, this kind of thing. So anyways, so with using that prompt, I got another thing done on there. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 things done out of 21, and it's only the 10th. I'm really actually kind of excited. I'll be absolutely floored if I get like half this done. I'm fair for an unemployed person who spends a lot of time not feeling well. I'm very busy. Maybe that's why it is, because I don't feel well, so I'm always playing catch up. So anyways, in my 50,000 words, the writing prompt was, when I turned on the radio that night, I never believed whose voice I was hearing coming through the speakers. Whew, catch my breath. Maybe I need to drink of water. Okay. The sun shone bright the next morning, and I stretched the blanket over my head to shut out the light. The sun might be happy to start things early, but I sure wasn't. Fuzzer, my male Maine Coon cat, came to join me as if he was as disgusted as I was that the sun was intruding on our sleep. He gave me a dirty look before he laid down. Fuzzer knew it was my fault the curtains didn't get closed properly when we came to bed last night. He took one deep breath and sighed. I knew he had gone back to sleep. I brushed my hand over his dark fur a bit and felt myself drifting lazily back to sleep. It was a good thing I didn't have to go to work today. Now, with this writing, these are first drafts. These are just flowlet stuff. So I'll do this in here. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And as I'm reading it out, I'm going, oh my God, this is just not perfect. But the whole point is I'm writing again, and that makes me happy. Anyways, I woke much later in the day than I intended, and my stomach wasn't happy about that. It never liked missing breakfast, even if I needed extra sleep. Fuzzer had moved from under the covers beside me to on top of them, down by my feet. I wiggled my toes, but he didn't move. Feeling more awake, I got up and went to the kitchen to find something to appease my stomach. Grabbing an orange from the fridge, I glanced at Fuzzer's food dish to see if it was still full from his bedtime feeding. It was, but his water dish was almost empty. That could wait a minute while I had my orange. I rinsed that and left it on the counter while I grabbed a small plate from the cupboard and a sharp knife from the kitchen block. After cutting up my orange, I rinsed my knife and dried it, then put the knife back in its space and headed to the table where I sat down and ate my pre-breakfast. Fuzzer had joined me in the kitchen, and I could hear him crunch happily on his kibble. The soft meow brought me out of the daydream I was having, a short reminder that his water dish was empty. I got up, grabbed his dish, and after putting mine in the sink, rinsed his out and refilled it with water. I received a happy meow for this, and Fuzzer began to drink. Since he was happy, it was my turn. I decided bacon, eggs, and toast were just the thing for my brunch, so I busied myself with that. As the bacon was frying, I went to find my phone. It was where I had left it, but 2 inches to the right. That meant Fuzzer was up where he wasn't supposed to be on the bookshelf. I'd learned a long time ago that arguing with cats was futile. How that big flump managed to get up there, only bump my phone a bit and not fall off, I'll never know. One day I might get a nanny cam so I can see how his day goes. Back in the kitchen, the smell of bacon caught my attention. I went back in, laid my phone on the table, and flipped the bacon so it didn't burn. Out in the living room, I heard a bell jingle. Fuzzer was playing with his dingle ball. It was his favorite toy. I loved watching him play whenever I could. It always made me smile. I'd laugh sometimes as well. Life was always good when I was with Fuzzer. The bacon done and the eggs going, I drifted into the memories of when I first got Fuzzer as a tiny kitten. So energetic and playful, the tiny fluff ball immediately took over the apartment. That had been 2 years ago. I now could not see my life without him. As my eggs sizzled, I put 2 pieces of bread in the toaster. I let myself breathe in deep the smell of my breakfast. There was not quite anything like a fresh-made breakfast, except maybe a hearty home-cooked supper. Having been busy this last week, my menu had been slim. Ended up eating a lot of takeout and cereal. As good as some of it was not a comparison to the simple hot breakfast that I had just made. Once done, I plated everything and sat once again at the table. Greedily ate my breakfast and checked my phone for messages. Fuzzer only bugged me twice for a few bits of bacon. It was a perfect morning until I went on Facebook. And that's as far as I got. Not the best stuff I've ever written. I must say I'm not necessarily a great short story writer. But it felt really good to sit and write that. I wasn't feeling especially well. I wasn't as sick as I did get, but like I said, it felt good to write. I'm not sure how I'm going with it, but yes, I would like to connect, now that I've reread it. I'd like to I'd, I'd like to continue on with it. Possibly the next tea time I do, it'll be poetry. I have downloaded a bunch of stuff off old blogs that I had on Blogger. And because I was headed that way, actually, to sit there and blog my thoughts and things like that. But with migraines and stuff, it can be tough to sit and focus and write. And grief really has just sucked my brain out and left. So to be able to sit and even write that was awesome. That was amazing. It felt like me coming back. So such as it was, I hope you enjoyed it. As always, anything that I write in here is my work. By all means, go on Pinterest. You'll probably find that writing prompt and use it for your own. There's probably 1,000 different ways that same writing prompt could be used, and maybe that's what I'll do with part of it, is just use it in different ways, just to show how ideas can just flow from one single thought. So anyways, cheers, and thank you for joining me here on Tea Time on C is for Grown. My name is Ray, and I will catch you later with more words. Bye.